G'day everybody, we're back, and today we're gonna work on a 1953 Austin A40 Sommerset. So having said that, let's get started. Go ahead and open her up. And what we're doing here is we're going to put an electric fuel pump on her. But before we do that, this thing's kind of running like a bag of hammers, so there's no point in replacing parts when you don't even have it running properly yet. So we're going to give it a bit of a tune-up first, and then we're going to do the fuel pump. So we're going to split this into 2 episodes, and this will be just, we're going to get everything in the best working order it can be, and then we're going to change the fuel pump. So let's get started. Okay, getting started here. We already ran the motor a little bit, and she's a little hard starting. She has her sweet spot. She does run. In fact, we'll probably run her here for you in a minute. She's popping back through the carburetor a little bit. She's running very rich. We had actually take a look here, and we know she's fouled plugs before, but she's just wet in there. And she spit on the floor a little bit too. So we're definitely going to do the timing on her. We're going to clean and gap and index the plugs. We're going to clean the distributor, and we're going to set the points on her. And then we're going to take a look at the carburetor and get the fuel system working a little better than it is. So let's get started.
Now we're going to go ahead and start it.
I do.
Okay, take the top off the air cleaner. This is an oil bath system. Popping back through the carburetor is a sign of ignition problems as well as fuel problems.
You can hear the motors surging up and down as well. And obviously there's a lot of vibration there. That's pretty rough. We're going to see if we can do something about that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove our spark plug wires. And once again, before we do, we're going to put 1, 2, 3, and don't worry, this wipes right off at the end if you don't like it there. Just go like that. Comes right off.
Now we're going to remove the distributor cap and inspect it and inspect the rotor.
Just grab these clips here on the side, just pop off, and there's your cap, and there's your rotor, and there's your points. And we're going to clean all of that. Unplug the coil and remove it. Very important when you're working on an antique car like this that you protect the paint. Don't let anything touch it. Be mindful of your belt buckle, anything like that. Make sure you keep your shirt untucked. Don't lean on the car. Just be very careful. These are very precious old antiques. You can see there, it's got a little dirt on it. That needs cleaning. So do all these. They're getting a little black. We need to clean them up. We're also going to clean and inspect these wires for any obvious burns or marks, especially where it's been touching the motor, anything like that. And we're going to put some looms on it to keep it from making contact with everything like it was. Now we're going to remove the rotor. It slides off like that. Inspect it, and you can see it's a little black there. We're going to clean that up too.
Now we're going to go ahead and remove the plugs.
We're doing this for two reasons. We're going to clean, gap, and inspect them here, not necessarily in that order, but also to set the timing on one of these cars. You can't do it with a light. You actually have to manually turn the piston to top dead center, and then we'll do our measurements. And we're going to do that together. There's number one, and you can see he's pretty wet. So we're going to check his gap and clean him. We're going to call him number one. And number two is also black. 1, 2. Number 3. And number 4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to roll the engine to top dead center so we can do our points and check our timing. And the way you do this is you could use a screwdriver. I like a piece of wood. It won't hurt anything. We're going to put that right in the cylinder like that. And we're going to roll the engine to top dead center. You can see as I turn, the stick is moving upwards. Right there, that's the top. Now we're just going to back up. We're going to go back down a little ways and then turn it in the direction of rotation towards top dead center. And then we're going to check our points. Now you have to be mindful, of course, 4-stroke engine, you have to make sure that both valves are closed and it's on the compression stroke when it's ready, right when it's ready to fire. So make sure you've got the right position. So we're right at the top, and the distributor should be facing the number 1 plug, and it is. Give or take. We're going to do our minor adjustment now. Okay, I'm going to try and come in and show you here the points. I'm going to actuate them with my finger here. That's them there. You can see here, right there, if I move it, you can see there, they're not gapped right at all. They should be open right now, and they're not, so the timing is off. And they're a little dirty and pitted. We're going to have to clean that, and we're going to have to gap those. So let's do that right now. Now, what you do is, it's very tight in here. I'm sorry, guys. We couldn't get the camera in here, me and everything else at the same time. What you do is loosen this set screw here. And you get the distributor turned just to the right point. So now the timing's set too. And you want to gap these between 14 and 16th of an inch. And there you can see right there, it should be a pretty loose fit. Just like that. And that is, I don't know if you can see that. That is 14th thou. Can you read that, Sarah? Just get your feeler gauge, and it should slide right in there when they're clean, if you can find them. Like I said, it's tight in here. Oh, where is she? Oh, there she is. There she is. And it should just fit in there like that. Just be a sliding fit. There we go. Just like that. There we go. We were able to get the shot, folks. There you go. Just like that. Pull that out, and it should be, it's hard to line up there. There we go. And you can see that's 14th thou. Just like that. Now you can see our contacts and our center electrode are nice and clean now. You want to take a Q-tip and actually get all of these little tight spots so that stuff and crap don't land back in there again. Just like that. It's kind of important. It's a pain in the butt, but if you wipe it all off and it's spinning around in here and it just lands back on there, well, that won't do you much good. So yeah, all these little nooks and crannies there, can you see that in there? All those little tight spots, get right in there, clean it out just like that, nice and clean. We're going to get all of it. I'm going to clean our rotor, It's got to be nice and shiny like that, no pits. You just use some fine, very fine sandpaper, very fine file, even a red Scotch pad will do it. You just want it nice and clean like that before we put it back in the car.
Now using wax and grease remover and a soft towel, we're going to clean and inspect our wires.
Very carefully, you got to be gentle with this stuff. Don't pull on them like a garden hose. What we're looking for is any burns or marks, any obvious nicks in the wire. Okay, hold on, Sarah. Right there. Let's see that. That right there is what we're looking for. It doesn't seem to be burned. I hope not anyway. But that's what you're looking for. These can cause you a problem. So you want to check for that. And with all the grease and dirt on them, you can miss something like that. And it's very important. We will test them all. And we'll show you how to do that too. This one's a coil wire. But we'll get to that in a minute. Right now we're just looking for any obvious damage or signs that it needs replacement. Okay, we found another one there on number 4. But so far not too bad. It just seems to be gotten into the coating a bit. It doesn't seem to have a burn mark on it, but we are going to check these. Okay, now we're going to clean that tower off real good. And there's a Q-tip. I'm just going to check here. Yeah, inside here, a good idea is to put a little piece of sponge or a little bit of like cotton batting and put a drop of oil on it. It will keep all this stuff lubricated, but it doesn't really seem to be a problem in here. There seems to be enough oil, but yeah, this one was getting a little brown there. And you should have a little, like a sponge wick in there, and we're going to make one. We're going to put it in there and put just a drop of oil on it to lubricate all the internals in the distributor. Put a wick in there. Oop. Cut the size there, so. Just like that. And just give him a drop of light oil, just like that. And you won't get all this corrosion in here, and it lubes the distributor. And reinstall our rotor. I'm just going to clean the outside of the electrode off. Keep that nice and sharp like that. You don't want to round the tip off. You want it nice and sharp lines like that, so just push. Run off like that. Carefully rub some fine sandpaper in there, just like that. There you go, and that's ready to go. And that's what it calls for right there. It should just be a slip fit like that, but 20 won't fit in there. Final clean before we install it. Let out with a little air. And that's ready to install. And yes, boys, that is a right tiny gap, isn't it? 0.18. I had to use the feeler gauges because my regular gauges start at 20.
It's very tiny.
That's very tiny. Can you see that? But that's ready to go in the car. Reinstall. Now we're going to go ahead and lube the cam of the distributor for the breaker points. What you do, it calls for SA20. We're going to use a little transmission fluid. This works. And you just want a light coat. Go like that. Go around it. Just lightly lube the cam like that. Just before you reinstall the distributor cap, put a light, very light coat of WD-40 in there. It'll help keep water out and just keep it from having problems. Just like that. Grab our springs. Make sure it's on there square. There's one. And there's the other. And the firing order for this is 1, 3, 4, 2. And there we go. Reconnect our coil. Now we're going to put our wire looms on, get it up off the motor a little bit. It also looks a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty good. Not popping back through the carburetor anymore. Oh, much better. See, that's already a lot smoother. For one of these, that's real smooth.
Let's check our starting now.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's it for tonight, everyone. We're going to break this up into a couple of episodes. We've basically gone through the ignition system now. We got it running pretty good. We're going to do the fuel system next and put on our fuel pump. We're going to use this pulse pump. We're going to put a pressure regulator on it and a gauge. So stay tuned, everybody. Good night, everyone. I hope this was helpful to someone out there. Have a good night.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Have a good night, everybody.
Don't forget to
You're supposed to wave, shithead. Oh, off camera, I beat you too. I just want everyone to know that.